Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. Thanks for spending some of your day here with me. We're reviewing some new products from Revolution Beauty. I ordered a couple things. They have several new products. If you go on the Ulta app or the website and you go to makeup and filter by new products and go down to Revolution, you will see you can also filter by brand as well. Go under Revolution Beauty, hit under the sorting new, and you will see all the new products. And I just picked a select few that I was interested in trying. So I'm going to give you my thoughts, kind of compare the formulas, do demos, swatches, you know, the usual. So if that sounds good, then let's go ahead and get started. I'm ready for the next step in my makeup routine, and I've already done my primer and foundation off camera, also my brows. I'm going to put all those products in the description box, and I'll show you the products that I use towards the end of the video. But the next step in my routine is to do concealer. So this is where the Skin Silk concealer is going to come in. It's an under eye brightener and concealer. I ordered one shade in the shade Fair Cool, and I like the packaging. I'll show you some up close shots of the packaging so you can see this. Really nice detail where it's kind of like a faded ombre from the top towards the bottom that goes clear, which is nice. And the applicator is very different. It's actually a metal component, so it's not your typical doe foot, so you can see there. And it looks like a doe foot, but it's not. It's all metal, which is pretty cool, and I think it's going to add to that cooling sensation when applied. And you can see at the very tip of it, it has some product that kind of gathers there, so you probably may not even need to re-dip the actual wand back into the component. So I'm going to just start with what's there. This is the Fair Cool shade, and that feels quite refreshing, so I could see myself just sitting here for a while, just kind of massaging under the eyes. See, most of it is already off of that just by applying it on one side, so I will have to go back and re-dip for some more, but it's almost like a small little divot where it actually holds the product. And I think that's going to be sufficient to do my entire under eye, but I'm just kind of massaging that and just enjoying the experience of that sort of cool metal tip, which is nice. So this is what the Fair Cool looks like. I'm going to take my beauty sponge that's been slightly dampened, and I'm going to tap this out and just see what this is like. For me, the intent is to use this maybe under concealer as a brightener to help with dark circles, not necessarily my main concealer, but that blended in really nicely, and it doesn't even look like I put anything on, which is great. It kind of blended, but it also brightened a little bit. You can kind of tell right in through here that it does look quite bright. And when I step away from my mirror, I can see that there is a brightness under the eye. It is a little light just because it's that Fair Cool tone, but I do like how easily this blended in with my sponge. If I angle my head with the shadowing, you can kind of see I still have some darkness. Yeah, you can see some darkness here and a little bit still here. So what I'm going to do is use some concealer on top. But for everyday part of my skincare routine, I can see myself using just a few dots to brighten the under eye area. So I do like this. I think it did a nice job at blending and creating that brightness under the eyes. So I thought it would be fun to kind of pair that with one of the Revolution Beauty's concealers. And I have the IRL Filter Finish Concealer. This is in the shade C2. It's a soft matte concealer. And I'm just going to do a little bit of this. This one actually has a really nice applicator as well. It almost looks like a flat paddle. I think of an iron every time I open this component because that's what it looks like. And I'm just going to take just a little bit here, and then right out here. Same sponge. Just kind of tap that out. And here's a look at the concealer, the IRL Concealer blended over the new Skin Silk Under Eye Brightener and Concealer. I think the two of them play really well together. So if you do have this concealer or you like this one already and you were considering something like this, I think they're a really nice companion to use together. And this is part of the Skin Silk line. I did film a one brand on this brand, so I have not posted that video. It's edited and ready to go, but because of all the new drugstore products, I kind of keep pushing that to the back burner. But this is part of the Skin Silk line that has the Luminous Serum Foundation. So now we've got the Skin Silk Concealer to go with it. Same style component where it kind of fades. The kind of light pink, like a blush pink, down to a clear. This is plastic. The Serum Foundation is glass, which is nice. And just quickly, I want to point out on the Ulta app, the new product from Revolution, the Skin Silk Under Eye Brightener and Concealer, is available in 6 options, and they're $10 a piece. I'm in the process of setting my under eye with the Huda Beauty Easy Bake. That's a powder that I love to use. I think it's a great loose powder. I like pairing that powder whenever I'm testing out new correctors, serum concealers, any type of concealer or complexion product, because I know that wears so well, and it's like applying a filter. So this is the side that's been set right under the eyes and through the T-zone and a little bit through the forehead, so you can see the difference between this side with setting powder and this side without. And I already do have a little bit of creasing under this eye, and I'm just going to tap that out with my sponge before I go in with my Huda Pout. I'm going to look up, kind of tap. You can use a sponge, you can use a brush, but I like to use a powder puff for my setting powder. And I just thought it would be kind of interesting to see how it looks when it's set, and I do like the overall effect once it's set. I think it's just a little too creamy to not set for me personally, but I do like the coverage, especially with the addition of the concealer on top. So I think it was a nice product, a nice addition to the brand. And I still think that I like the thinness of it. And I can see myself using that underneath any other concealers in the future. I do think it was quite brightening. And now that everything is really well set, I feel like this is going to stay in place nicely all day. And I have no complaints. I mentioned in a previous video that I think that the trend for this year is going to be products in stick form. And so Revolution has their version of stick bronzers and stick blushes. We've seen a couple of these style of products from the drugstore, which is nice because you don't often find stick blushes and contours and bronzing sticks, highlighter sticks from the drugstore very often. So it's nice to see that they're kind of creating that product and putting some out at affordable prices. So we're going to start with the bronzer. The packaging is really, really nice. I like that soft, light kind of blush pink with that rose gold ring here. The Revolution is embossed into the product, and you see an R on the top lid there. So really well thought out packaging, and I chose to pick up the shade called Sunset. And on the Ulta site, this is $9, and there's 4 options. And this is the Skin Silk Bronzing Stick. So I'm excited to try this. I think that the shade is going to be a good kind of solid medium tone. It's not going to be too light or too dark. Let me go ahead and swatch it for you so you can see. Quite the messy swatch here, but it is very, very soft, very creamy, but it doesn't look like it's too wet and emollient like some of the other ones from the drugstore that I've recently reviewed. So I like that. Look how intense that shade is. Kind of scary. And the Sunset is actually classified as a medium tone, so it says medium sunset, so it's the 3rd option on the Ulta site. I'm going to use the Liquid Bronzer and Contour Duo Brush from e.l.f. to blend this out, so I'm going to use the more rounded side. And I'm going to pick up from the swatch and load up my brush, make sure that everything is really well coated on the bristles. And then I'm going to start blending this in. Instead of swiping directly onto my skin, you certainly could do that if you wanted to, but I just feel like this helps kind of control the amount. And I feel like it gives me a better blend too. And I like this brush because there is a side on the opposite end that's a little bit more pinched and kind of like an oval shape for you to get in and contour if you do contour, or if you wanted to get around your hairline with it. I like this brush, and it was just a few bucks, and it's such good quality. Okay, so far this is blending out actually really nicely. I like the tone. It looks scary as a swatch, and when I got this in person, I thought this was going to be too dark and it's going to make me look crazy. But honestly, that blended out very nicely. And the tone of it is really nice. Not too orange, not too dark, not too light. I think it's just right. And it does feel really soft to the touch. And it doesn't feel wet, sticky, goopy. It doesn't feel greasy. I feel like it's a nice, honestly, a really nice elevated type of formula for the brand, since it's one of the more affordable brands at Ulta. I do think that it feels a lot more expensive than $9. I'm pretty sure that's what it was, $9. So I'm really thrilled with that. What I'm going to try to do is swipe directly off of the stick and see what happens there. Just get a little bit like that. And then I'm going to start tapping. Whoa, that is dark, but it just blends so easily. So don't let the tone and the depth intimidate you. I feel like it's just easy to blend, easy to use. I'm going to go onto my nose as well. Look how easily that's blending. I like this a lot. And I didn't powder the sides of my face, by the way. I just kind of powdered under the eye and the T-zone. Here's a look at the bronzer blended out over my foundation. And I have to say, I'm really impressed with how this easily blended. The tone, the finish is like a soft satin finish. It's not too matte, but it's not dewy. It's not luminous, greasy. It doesn't look oily on the skin, and it just played so well with everything else underneath. So I'm really impressed with that, and I would definitely keep using that. But now we get to try the blush stick. I have one shade and it's called Pinched Light Pink. Again, same similar component as the bronzing stick with the soft light kind of blush pink. I like that. It's so pretty, and that rose gold ring. And the cool part of this is the way it looks in the tube. It's swirled, and I'll show you up close a better shot of that. It's so pretty. It's kind of swirled, and this immediately reminded me of the Italian marble lipsticks from Laura Geller that I absolutely adore. It has that kind of marbled look to it, and I thought that is so pretty. So let's twist this all the way up, and that's as far as it goes. So you don't get a ton of product, but that's okay. Look at how pretty that looks. It's almost too pretty to mess up, but we're going to use it. We're going to try this out, so let me swatch it for you. And here's a swatch of the Pinched Light Pink shade. Look how pretty that looks. So nice. And of course, when you swatch it for the first time, you do mess up the swirls on the top, but you can still admire it from the sides if that matters to you, but it doesn't because it's meant to be mixed together anyways. But that is so pretty. So I'm going to work off of that swatch. I'm going to use another e.l.f. brush, the Dual Complexion I love for cream products. I'm going to use the bigger side to blend that out. I'm just going to, again, same thing as I did with the bronzing brush, just load up my bristles nice and evenly. And let's start on my right side, just kind of stippling this on. Ooh, that's pretty. That's so pretty and soft, light. I feel like it kind of looks like it goes with anything, right? Depending on my mood, I can just leave it like this, build it up a little bit, layer something else on top. But I like that tone, and it looks so pretty. I'm going to bring it a little bit under the eyes, over the nose as well. I'm really loving that. That looks so pretty. And again, it doesn't feel overly sticky, emollient, greasy. It just feels like a nice kind of silky, almost satiny kind of finish. Yeah, I like this a lot. I'm glad I got it. I love a nice sort of cooler pink, even though this isn't quite Barbie pink and super, super cool, but it's also not that warm. I feel like it's kind of more in that neutral territory with the tone, undertone of it. So pretty. And I still have quite a bit to work off of for this side, but I did also pick up one of the jelly blushes. This is supposed to be a lip and cheek stain. Kind of like the Milk Makeup, which I never bought those because I thought, do they really blend? Is it just gimmicky? And then when I saw people on social media cutting it up and trying to eat it, I was just like, no, I'm done with that. But then I decided to try their version from this brand because it's cheaper and it's probably essentially the same darn thing, right? So I picked up one shade and it's in the strawberry color. So I thought, let's try this over on this side and hope for the best. It does come with a little sub cap that you want to keep so that the product doesn't dry out. And it does look like a jelly, kind of like Jello almost. It's pretty neat. And that's the tone there without swatching it. And let me swatch it on this other hand since I do have product on this hand. Ooh, okay, so that feels kind of jelly, kind of watery. Do you see that? It does have a bit of a glossy finish. But I'm interested to see the stain of this. This is a really nice kind of bright, cool pink shade. There's a couple of options. Again, really inexpensive. And I thought, you know what? We should just go for it and try it out. Now the question is, do I go directly or do I pick it up off the back of my hand? And then what brush? Be right back. I'm back. I landed on this brush with darker bristles. So if it does stain and I can't get it out with a shampoo and a wash, I'm not going to be too worried about it and upset. So this is the A24 brush from the Morphe IRL brush collection that I ordered from Ulta a while back. So what I'm going to do is probably just go, something is telling me to go directly onto the cheeks. So I'm going to go for it and I'm going to hope for the best. I'm going to work pretty quickly and just, again, cross my fingers and wish me some luck. I hope that this doesn't wreck my makeup because it was looking so good before this. Okay, it's not too bad. It's light, it's thin, it's kind of more on the sheer side, not as intense when you swatch it, of course. But I do feel like it's a light kind of stained look to the cheeks. Now I think this would be nice to kind of layer underneath a powder, so it gives you more longevity because of that staining aspect. Using this first and then putting a matching color on top that's a powder, I feel like your blush is going to last you the entire day. And that honestly was not as scary as I thought it was going to be. I thought this was going to be wild. Let's go ahead and add some more because you know what? Why not? We're already here. Let's just go for it. Let's just do it. Okay, she's cute. She's cute. But I feel like it's not wanting to blend up here. So we're kind of running into some issues. I feel like I probably should have just used my fingers, right? Okay, so here is a second layer. I don't feel like it's as well blended as that first layer. I don't know if layering is the right thing to do with something like that. I can't get the product to move and blend up here, so it kind of looks like it just stops here. I'm going to fix that with a different blush on top. But the color is really pretty. And I feel like I probably should have just used my fingers to start. But you know what? We're here. We're doing research. It is what it is. So what I'm going to do is go back to my e.l.f. dual brush, pick up the rest of the swatch from the stick, and then kind of layer and see what happens. Because I do want to create a more blended look on this side. So let's just go for it. I know what you're thinking. This is just too much, and you're right. But I wanted to show it to you. I don't care. I'm not going anywhere today. So here is the blush stick layered on top of the stain. So just know that when you put a stain on and put something on top, it's going to elevate the tone. It's going to make it look like there's more blush. So I should have just done one layer of this just to try this formula out, and then did the layering technique with the blush stick and called it a day. But we're here. So I feel like I have no choice but to make this side look crazy. But here is the blush stick and bronzer. Really pretty. Trust me, it's a nice formula. It looks really pretty. This is a little bit wild. We're going to tone this down. Just give me some time and I will fix it and add some more. Let me just pick up, actually, let me switch back to that brush. I'm going to just pick up the swatch product there on this hand and just load up my brush. And it does stain. It's really pretty, the color though. And I'm just going to stipple this on top. So we're kind of doing it backwards on this side. Blush stick first, then stain. But, you know, it is what it is. Like I said, I'm not going anywhere today, so I could care less if I look wild. My kids probably won't even notice because I'm always looking crazy anyways. I am back with a much more toned down blush. And I actually like the way this looks. It was kind of crazy. It's one of those trust the process kind of moments, but here's the saving grace here. I use a big fluffy brush. This is the Real Techniques 242. I believe it's described as the everything brush. It's huge. I kind of just stamped on top of the blush some powder, and I used the Maybelline Superstay Hybrid Powder Foundation in shade number 110. Looks like that. I just took a little bit of that, tapped off the excess, and again, just kind of pressed right over the blush, and that toned it down. And I feel like it also kind of set those stains and the stick products. So I feel like this is not going to go anywhere, and this is much better, right? I just realized that my camera was not filming the lip portion, so I have two products and we're going to just start all over again. The first lip product is the Pout Lip Oil in Raspberry Pink, and then the Shimmer Lip Gloss. This is the Pout Balm formula as well, but it's just the shimmer version of their existing glosses. So pretty. So this is what I have on, and again, my camera was not filming. I just realized that. But this is the Raspberry Pink Lip Oil that I'm wearing right now. It has really no color to it. I thought that it would, but it doesn't. That's okay. I mean, most lip oils are sheer anyways. The formula is not too thick, but not too thin. It's kind of somewhere in the middle. I would say that this is thinner than the e.l.f. lip oils, thinner than the newest lip oils from L'Oreal. If you've tried these, those are incredible. So this is going to be a little thinner, a little bit more lightweight feeling, and less pigment. But overall, not too bad. Not my favorite, but I'll keep using it. Let's go into the Shimmer lip gloss. This is the Glimmer Nude shade. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay, wow. Oh my gosh. And this is the Glimmer Nude Shimmer Lip Gloss. The formula is a little bit thicker than I would personally prefer. I think I put too much on because, do you see that? And I don't like that. That just, no. So I've removed some of this off of my lips because this is rather thick. So when you pull this out of the component, I only use what was there on the doe foot, which is a larger size, which is nice. But that is, I feel like, too much for this really thick formula. So I will have to kind of clean that off just on the very edge of the component. Not a big deal. And just lightly go on with it. So I wanted to show you the full swatch, of course, so you can see this is actually really beautiful in person. It has such a beautiful sparkle, and it kind of has that iridescent blue sparkle, some lavender, some gold sparkles, and I like how the base isn't quite as pigmented, so you can put this on with any lip liner or on top of any lipstick of your choice. So that's part of the reason why I went with one of the more nude shades. This looks so pretty online. In person it looks beautiful, but it is a thicker formula, and I feel like the amount that comes off of the applicator is far too much. And that's just me, my personal preferences. I need to scale that back, but this is so pretty, and I think this gloss with that kind of iridescent sparkle really goes with the iridescent eyeshadow. So what I'm going to do is take this off and find a lip liner, a lipstick maybe, and do a combination and show you the result there. I am back with a completed lip look. So I'm testing out the NYX Duck Plump lip liners again. I did a review on this a few videos back, and I only had a plumping kind of tingly, slight kind of sting right in the center cupid's bow area and nowhere else. And today, I'm actually feeling it more on my bottom lip, and I do feel it just a little bit on the top. So I lined my lips and I actually filled them in with this lip liner. The shade that I chose is Pinkjection, which is a really pretty kind of everyday pink for me. I love a good pink lip. And then what I did was I went back to the Shimmer lip gloss from Revolution, and I tapped that doe foot applicator just to get a thin amount and press my lips together, and then this is the end result. It's so pretty, and you have to see this in person to really appreciate that sparkle and that iridescent look. It looks just like a really glossy formula because it is a lip gloss. I like how it kind of makes my lips look fuller, fills in the lines, and of course I do have a little bit of that plumping aspect from this, where it's almost kind of like a slight sting is actually happening. So it's kind of odd that the second go around with this, I'm actually feeling something, whereas the first time I felt almost nothing. I do see myself using this gloss very lightly applied like I did today, just kind of tapping the doe foot, maybe using a lip brush, because it is a bit of a thicker formula, and I feel like if you put too much on as you're talking, you're going to get those little lines that just don't look good, where it looks like your lips are kind of trying to stick together. It's not a good look, and I don't think anybody enjoys that. So just know that if you're going into it, just use a little bit. But this one is actually really, really pretty, so I kind of forgive that aspect of it. And now that I know to use less, I will use this again because it's really pretty. I love that sparkle. And my camera was not filming earlier when I swatched this product for the first time, so you can kind of see how icy and vibrant that looks when the light kind of catches it. It's so pretty, and I see a lot of that kind of lavender, kind of shifty blue in the swatch. I think it's really pretty. And here is the end result using the new Revolution Beauty products. What do you think? Are there any products from today's video that you're interested in trying? I'm going to list and link them down below for you in case you do want to shop them. I actually do feel like I'm very pleasantly surprised, and I do really enjoy the majority of everything today. I really liked how the Brightener gave me some brightness, and it was like an immediate effect under the eyes, and I really like how it has some skincare benefits. There's caffeine in here. There's also hyaluronic acid. It's really inexpensive, and it has, you know, a few shades to choose from, and this is the fair cool undertone that I chose. I do like the blush stick and the bronzer stick. I think they're beautiful, very easy to blend, and I will use these again. I also really do enjoy the jelly blush, although I feel like I should probably only do just one layer, maybe use my fingers next time, but I'll continue playing with this. It's not like my most favorite blush formula to use. I still prefer the sticks from Revolution over this, but this was fun. I thought, you know, why not try it? I also do enjoy the lip products. The lip oil did not have as much color as I was hoping for and as I thought based off of the actual photos on the Ulta site. So I would say maybe this is a pass. It's not bad. The formula feels nice and feels very comfortable on the lips, as most lip oils do, but I just wanted a little bit more of a raspberry pink with it, and I just didn't get that. I do like the gloss. The shimmer is stunning, but it's just really thick, so I kind of have to, you know, be careful with that, and keeping that in mind, I will use this again. And let me show you what I use on my eyes in case you are curious. I use a Revolution palette. This is the Enchanted Icon palette. So what I did was I took this soft kind of light muted blushy tone in the crease, and then I took this shade here, which looks pink and it shifts to blue and lavender, kind of similar to the sparkle in the gloss. That's what's on my lid. And then under the eyes, I took the kind of muted tone from the crease and mixed it with this darker brown here under the eyes. Then I took this really dark brown, kind of cool tone brown, and I smudged out my pencil liner really close to the lashes. And then for mascara, I'm using the L'Oreal Paradise Big Deal mascara, and I did several coats of that. I also did test this out in a recent video. And that's pretty much it. I just kept it really simple on the eyes, no brow highlight, no inner corner highlight. And then this is the end result. And right now, the only thing I can think is that this Duck Plump lip liner is actually stinging my lips. And I don't think I like the way that feels. It kind of feels borderline, like I kind of want to remove it. And that's it for today's video. I hope that this was helpful. Thank you for spending some of your day here with me. Subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And you can also follow me on Instagram. It pops up here on the screen. Take care, you guys, and I'll catch you very soon. Bye-bye.